Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Games I Speak. I'm Gio,
And I'm Josie.
and today we have a lot for you. I apologize if my background is so dark. My lighting cannot compete with the sun, so yeah, sorry about that.
Let's
Uh,
go outside.
yeah, I wish I could record outside. That would be awesome. So let's jump right in. First up, we have a big issue that arose this week. I don't know if you were paying attention to it, but you remember the update, right? The PlayStation
Yes.
update this week.
Yes.
So apparently, what happened was Sony had some confusing wording in their update, where it kind of like said, "Hey, we're recording all your party chats," and so rightfully people started freaking out. And if you look at the latest PlayStation trailers that Sony has revealed, you'll see like every other comment is like saying, "Stop recording us, leave us alone." So here we go. This all started on social media, of course, as users began sharing screenshots which seemed to indicate the claim. However, it's not Sony doing the recording. So this is what they say. Um, Please be aware that voice chats in parties may be recorded and sent to us by other users. So that's the key part. You can record your party chats and then send it to Sony if you believe someone violated the code of conduct. So that's basically what the functionality that they added. So, I mean, I feel like you could record people anyways, right? I mean, if you were recording your stream and you were in a party chat, you can record them anyways.
Yeah,
So,
you can record them, but here's the thing. This makes it easier for Sony to get in contact with users that want to maybe point out griefers or
yes.
people that are abusive in some way, shape, or form.
Hmm.
And this is like a direct line rather than, look, I recorded this. It's on my Twitch channel, and then I need to go ahead and move it and send it to Sony via like email or something. This is directly from the system to Sony.
Yes.
So that's a cool addition. I don't see any issues really.
Yeah. So the only issue I would see is if they were just willy nilly recording people and listening to them. That's not cool.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
that's going to be the
Yeah.
case. I
No.
mean, like currently, like us, we're using Skype,
Yeah.
and Skype has the ability. You're recording
Hmm.
video off of Skype,
Yeah.
and Skype even has on at least my end because you're recording on your end. It tells me, hey, Geo is using a device that's
Hmm.
recording, just to give you a heads up.
Yeah.
It's an alert.
Yeah. So,
So I don't see that huge of a difference between what this is doing and what Sony's
yeah.
doing.
No. No, I agree. But I like to see that people are skeptical and asking questions because it shows
Oh
that
yeah.
people are realizing like, hey, companies are taking a lot of data from us. We should challenge them at every step now. And so that kind of put Sony on the defensive where they have to explain what they're doing and why they're doing it, which I think is cool. I
Now
think,
now just take Amazon Echo to task.
yeah, yeah. Keep your Amazon muted when you're not using it. Okay, keep your Echo muted. All right. And even then, there's some question if it listens, but I digress. Back to the topic. So I think you brought up a good point. It would be good if Sony gave an indicator to everyone in the party chat when one member was recording. I think.
Isn't that what that said? It says it's a notification.
Oh, it says it sends you a notification if someone's recording.
Yeah, look, it says right there, hello, the notification advises you
Oh,
that other
okay,
users may be recording your voice conversation. We do not record party
okay,
chats.
uh, okay. So as long as they're notifying people, then you can just leave the chat if someone's recording you. Um, so yeah, I think there's a lot of weirdness on the PlayStation Network. Like, I feel I feel like there's a lot of creepers on there because I get messages all the time from random people, and I get
Heads up. Creepers are everywhere.
Yeah, and I get people adding me to like group chats and stuff. So I turned off the I had to turn off the ability for random people to add me to group chats because I was like logging in and like I was in all these random group chats and I was like, what's going on here? Like, I don't like this. So yeah,
Yes, I only designate it to friends or friends of friends or communities that I'm a part of.
yeah,
That's about as much as I don't allow just willy nilly.
yeah. So I think yeah, as long as Sony can't just eavesdrop and it's users doing it, if someone's being abusive or whatever, and everyone else is notified, I think they checked all their boxes. So,
I agree.
all right, next up, Rockstar buys Crackdown 2 developer Ruffian Games and rebrands them to Rockstar Dundee. So there's not much information in here, just speculation of like what they would be like. Why would they purchase this studio? And some people are saying that like um, Ruffian Games is good at porting over different games. So they think that maybe Ruffian Games might be in charge of porting over the newest generation of GTA 5. Um, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to think of this acquisition. But if you
I don't either,
what?
especially since I said I don't either,
Yeah.
especially since the pedigree, like it says right there in the article that they're behind Crackdown 2 and the Master Chief
Which
Collection.
the Master Chief
And
Collection is
honestly,
awesome.
it's awesome now.
Yes. On
It
PC.
wasn't awesome when it initially launched.
That is true.
Um,
It was
so so
limited.
so so my question is when did Ruffian Games start working on it? Because if Ruffian Games started working on it from the PC version, tight, they're
Yeah.
cool. But if they were working on it since when it originally launched on the Xbox One, it was Bobo from the beginning.
Yeah.
It took a long time for that to get good.
Yeah.
So, and then Crackdown 2 is unfortunately kind of a letdown. I loved Crackdown 1. Crackdown 2 was more of the same. It didn't really expand on
Hmm.
anything. It wasn't utterly broken, so I'll give them that, but it's not something, it's not a selling point.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I need to see what they'll do and how they'll do it.
Yeah. To me, when I heard this, I wasn't like, I didn't really have an opinion either way. I was just like, oh, well, but it, when I read the article, it does make sense that they might be using that studio to help port GTA 5 into the newer generations. Also, I do want to say, I left this out of this week because I didn't have time and there was just so much. There was a map released that could be for a potential new GTA game. Did you see that?
No.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yes, sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. No, I did. And people are saying that this could be GTA 6 in the making.
Yeah.
Um,
So
the thing
I
about
don't think
GTA
it's
5
enough,
though,
but yeah.
the thing about GTA 5 though is they already announced that GTA 5 was coming to Xbox One and PlayStation
Hmm.
5. So they just acquired Ruffian,
Maybe they were having
but
a hard time porting it over
porting it
to the
over.
new generation. Yeah.
I mean, dude, GTA 5 first came out on PS3.
Dude, I beat it when I was living with you at your place. I beat it on my Xbox 360.
Yeah, it's wild. It's
It's an
wild. I
old
mean, I mean,
game.
kudos to them. I still actually I have yet to beat it. I actually like GTA 4 more than 5, but
Yeah.
that's because of the story and the characters.
Yeah, no, I love the story of GTA 5. And I actually, when they gave it away on the Epic Game Store, me
Hmm.
and a friend downloaded it. And oh my gosh, I mean, the amount of stuff you can do in that game is insane. Like,
Yes.
the,
Yes. I have a friend that actually actively plays online all the time. Like that is his game.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I understand.
it's a massive game. I mean, you can do whatever, but I would like to see a new game. I would like to
Yeah.
see,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
there's Red Dead Redemption 2. You haven't played that, have
No,
you?
I haven't played that yet. I played the first one. I haven't played but yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously Red Dead Redemption 2 took a lot of time and resources for them. Um,
Yes.
in every GTA game, obviously, and they're still keeping GTA 5 alive. I don't agree with the people who say I'm done. I'm tired of GTA 5. Just kill it. Make a new one. It's like they have a responsibility to like your friend, to people like your friend who still play
Yeah.
it. So they need to
If
release.
anything,
Yeah.
oh, I was going to say, if anything, they need to go back, and this is, they don't need. I would like them to go back to maybe making iterative games in between,
Hmm.
kind of like maybe something like a Manhunt or a the Warriors game, kind of like a B tier rather than these triple A tier games all the time, because it feels like forever for a Rockstar game to come out
Yes.
nowadays.
Yeah. No, no, you're right. It would be nice to see some smaller titles from them while we're waiting between the big titles.
Exactly.
Yeah. Um,
And they can make side story type GTA games like they did before.
mhm.
They've done before Liberty City Stories and Chinatown Wars. Something something a little bit more digestible that doesn't need to be, this huge. I mean, granted, GTA Online is making them so much money.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
honestly, they wanted to have that same kind of effect with Red Dead Redemption 2. So I just see, as a business model, I see them just skewing more towards that. But I would like to see these smaller type Rockstar games that I've enjoyed just as much. I love them. I love Manhunt,
Yeah.
and I really like the Warriors game. The Warriors game was really cool. So
I'm a big fan of the Warriors movie. Um,
it's great.
it's
I love that
yeah,
movie.
but I never played the
And
game.
don't buy the Blu-ray.
um,
And the only reason I say that, and this is a public service announcement. The only reason I say that is because the Blu-ray, and no offense to the director, but the director's original vision was to have it look like a comic book.
yeah.
So he made all these comic book interstitials, and there's like these weird breaks
Hmm.
that totally kill the pacing of the film and make it into something that it wasn't from the
Hmm.
get-go. And I just got to say, I don't enjoy it. It's not the original Warriors, and I would prefer the theatrical version to be re-released, and there's no Blu-ray version of it, at least stateside.
Okay. Yeah, I have the DVD version, so I guess I'll just stick
Yeah,
with that.
yeah.
All right. Next up. So basically, Ubisoft released like a bunch of gameplay video for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it's looking. So you said we talked earlier. You said Assassin's Creed Origin was kind of headed more towards like an RPG, action RPG type game.
Correct. I have not played Origins yet. I actually just recently purchased it for $10 from Walmart.
Hmm.
Shout out. But the Origins is where they started kind of like the RPG leveling system,
Hmm.
where you can't just one shot kill enemies if they are a higher level than you,
Okay.
which is kind of lame, especially with like the hidden blade type situation.
Yeah.
So literally, assassinations don't work on higher level enemies because of the level gap.
Okay.
And then they had that as well in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and it seems like they're going to be continuing that with Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm seeing. So apparently there's a like a main hub, like and it's called Ravensthorpe, and apparently it grows as you progress in the game. So it looks like they're adding a much more RPG type elements that you would see in like an action RPG.
But
Um,
also like a town building system.
yeah, similar to like I guess The Witcher. A lot of people think of that game. Or Fallout. Fallout had a town building system.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was kind
I
of
really didn't
useless.
like them Fallout 4.
Yeah, I liked it. I beat it, but I didn't mess with the town building system at all. Um, so
Oh,
here we can
no.
see some things. Okay, this includes a blacksmith to upgrade weapons, a barracks for training and designing Joms Viking Joms Viking lieutenant, a stable to train and personalize mounts for Ivor to ride. Ivor, I don't know how to say it.
I think it's Ivor.
Ivor. An aviary to customize their raven, a trading post for resources, and more. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like they're headed more towards like an action RPG type game, which, I mean, action RPGs are hot right now. You know what I mean? People seem to love them, and most of these games are evolving towards that type of system. So, um, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think maybe some of the die-hard Assassin's Creed
Assassin's Creed
players,
fans.
yeah, they might not like it, but I haven't talked to any of them, so I don't know. I mean, what?
I think the diehards left after Origins, most likely.
Yeah, probably. So, I mean, what do you think about it? Does it make you more interested in trying it out?
No, if anything, it makes me less interested.
Okay.
It just sounds because here's the thing. I've been with Assassin's Creed since the original, and I played one, two, Brotherhood,
Hmm.
and a little bit of three. And honestly, they've only gotten more and more bloated. And I only bought Assassin's Creed Origins mostly because of the price point, but also because it's ancient Egypt, and I don't really get a lot of games from ancient Egypt or that have ancient Egypt as a setting. And
No.
I kind of wanted to check it out, but I haven't started it yet.
Okay.
That being said, they still have they're still full of bloat. There's just a lot. They're collectathons. There's so many things to do, and this just sounds like more of
Hmm.
that. So for people that want a lot of content, I think this is great for them.
Yeah.
But for me, um, I don't know. It just the game and the story doesn't justify the bloat,
Okay. Okay.
in my opinion. In my
Yeah.
How about yourself? Does this make you interested at all? Like,
I don't know. I'm skeptical because it seems like when you take a game that of it like Assassin's Creed, which is more of an action adventure title, and then
yes,
you shift it over into an action RPG, um, you're yes. There's kind of a thin line between an action adventure and an action RPG, but in that respect, a lot of games are kind of getting closer to the borders where I'm looking at games now and I'm confused whether it is an action adventure or it is an action RPG, and it seems like this game is going to be one of those games. And I I don't think genre should be so restrictive, obviously, but
well, I mean, genre. There is the term genre bending.
yeah,
There are lots of games out there that do mix and
yeah,
match these genres.
yeah. So for me, it's more confusing because yeah, I associate Assassin's Creed with action adventure, and
Gotcha.
so and there's so many good action or um like there's so many good action RPGs. Like it
Ghost of Tsushima.
goes man, Ghost of Tsushima, you got the Dark Souls series, we have Demon Souls coming out. I mean,
Horizon Zero Dawn, and
Horizon Zero Dawn.
those are both games that just Horizon Zero Dawn and Ghost of Tsushima alone, where they took a lot of the things that are done in Assassin's Creed,
Mhm.
like going from town to town, opening up the map, doing all these like little missions and stuff like that to improve your character, unlock move sets, what have you,
Mhm.
and they did it while focusing on the story and the character and not having all this insane bloat behind it. Like finding those fox shrines or finding the haiku
Yeah.
locations,
Or
they
the
weren't huge
saunas.
deviations from the main
Yeah.
game. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Yeah, and man, there should really be like a master lesson on Ghost of Tsushima because they did so many things right in that game.
I agree.
So yeah, it doesn't really make me more interested to play the game to answer your question. It really doesn't. But I mean, I hope it works out. I hope people enjoy it. Um,
Yeah, yeah. For the people that want more of that content to stay in that world, I think it's going to be very good for them. I think they might enjoy it. But for me, it just seems just like another addition that maybe Ubisoft. No offense to Ubisoft, and I know that this is the way the hustle is being
yeah.
played nowadays, microtransactions. But it's just another way to add in microtransactions. It's like, ooh, do you want to add this kind of hut with gold trim? And like a raven's nest,
Yeah. Yeah, no,
some stuff like that.
I get what you're
I
saying.
see it happen.
It's the DLC hustle, man. It's the DLC hustle.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Next up, Amazon Games Crucible has been canceled. So this is a game that was in development for a while. Um, and it recently kind of released, and it didn't do well. It didn't do well. People didn't like it. And so instead of fixing the game and delivering to the people who did like it and want to continue playing the game, Amazon Game Studios just canceled it. And so, for those that are unfamiliar with this game, this is I believe this is a third-person shooter, and it's it's on Steam, I believe, and it just didn't do well, and so they're just tucking their
Wait,
tail. What?
was it really on Steam? Oh, oh, it was previously released on Steam before going back into closed beta testing.
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
and yeah. So when it got to Steam, people didn't like it, and they blew it up, and then so now they're just canceling it. And so they're saying the servers will remain functional for custom games. I would assume all the people who had the beta access until November 9, 2020. So, all right, there's a lot to be said here because you and me had some conversations about Luna, Amazon Luna coming out, and how
Yes.
these big tech companies are just going head first into gaming, but they don't have pure intentions. So
Stadia is a good example.
yeah. So what do you think about? I mean, is this? It just seems like this is par for the course for me that they're canceling it because they're not going to make money on it.
Yes and no. I think that you know, if anything, actually, funny enough, this proves that they do care.
Okay.
This proves that they do care, that they don't want to spend money on a sinking ship.
Okay.
It didn't work from the get go, and then they had that close. They took it back, and for whatever internal reasons, they decided, look, we don't want to keep wasting money on this. Let's move on and let's try to make something that works. So I see that version of it.
Okay.
Um, and to some degree, I kind of, felt that way about previous properties, kind of like something like Anthem, Fallout 76. Where they continue to try to make something work that clearly isn't.
Well,
Then again, I don't know Fallout 76's numbers right now,
no.
but
Fallout
I only hear negative
76.
things all the time.
Fallout
Yeah,
Fallout 76 is actually getting good feedback now.
there you go.
Yeah.
See,
So
but then again, good feedback from whom? The diehards? Is it really gaining back the numbers that it needs in order to justify its existence? So these are just questions that
yeah.
maybe I need to look into. But still, the fact that we don't know this off the top of our heads, that there haven't been like amazing exposés on the resurgence of Fallout 76. We've seen articles talking about No Man's Sky returning,
Yes.
but not about Fallout 76, not about Anthem.
Yeah.
So, in some ways, I give them credit for seeing this as, like, oh, this is a problem. We can't fix it in a reasonable amount of time or for a reasonable amount of money.
Hmm.
So let's scrap it and try to make something that works.
Okay.
So we got to see what happens next. How about you? How do you feel about it?
Well, I just think it's a management decision. I
Mm.
think there's probably people who worked on the game that want to make it work, and the numbers don't come through, so they just axed it. That's what I see. So to me,
But I
I
mean,
see no
the
care.
numbers can't be there if they didn't really release it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it doesn't seem like they're even trying. Because if they released it on Steam and they got bad reviews, and then they put it back into beta, that's where you fix the feedback from the players. That's the whole point,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But to me, I just see they're like, ah, we're not. This is a money sinker. Let's cancel it. So, but I see another thing. They're coming out with a massive MMO called New World soon,
Okay.
and maybe they're like, look, we're stretched too thin here. this game's not working, New World's coming out, we got to devote all our resources to New World. So that could be it.
That's kind of what I was saying
Yeah,
already. They're putting resources to something else
yeah,
that works.
yeah. New World is going to be their new MMO that they're coming out with. So I mean, I think it shows like a very quick decision to just act something because players complained. But at the same time, I'm open-minded enough to know that they have a new game coming out, and maybe they just want to cut their losses and shift all their resources there.
Maybe.
But it's never a good look when you just come out with a game and you cancel it that quick. Because then it makes people hesitant to even try your new game. Because let's say they do devote all their resources to New World, people are going to look at it and be like, man, why should I even play this? They might cancel it next month. You know what I mean? It creates like a hesitation with gamers. At least it
Well,
would for me.
that's how I felt about Google Stadia,
Yeah.
because Google has attempted to, you know, go into different avenues. Like, remember when they did Google Plus? They tried to do
Yeah.
like a Facebook type analog.
Yep. And then
That thing got canceled.
canceled.
And I don't see Stadia succeeding at all, especially in the face of Xbox Game Pass / xCloud.
But it seems like these companies have so much money that they're just throwing money at the wall and hoping that it turns out good, because Apple Arcade is still trying to survive. You know what I mean? It's
Wait,
like,
here's the thing with Apple. Apple has the install base, and it's going to be on your phone no matter what. Or at
that
least
is
you have
true.
access to it easily of your phone with the couple of taps.
Yeah.
So I can't deny that, and especially since mobile gaming is some of the most lucrative gaming in the world today.
Yeah.
Clash of Clans. I mean, we talked about, I think, 7.5 billion for Bethesda, but I forgot. I think Clash of Clans was a game purchase from Tencent, maybe. I forget whom. I don't want to give incorrect
Yeah.
information,
They
but
are the mobile
believe
kings.
I believe the amount of money that was spent just for Clash of Clans, that game, or the team behind that game, was rivals what was spent on on ZeniMax Studios, because it wasn't just Bethesda; it was ZeniMax Studios and all the studios attached to it. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So think of that. Put that in that perspective, where
For
it's
a
like
mobile
one
game.
mobile game
For a
versus
mobile game.
all these a conglomerate of
Yeah.
game studios.
Yeah. So that makes sense for Apple. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I think Game Pass is gonna control this market because of it just seems like they're doing it right. They have their own console. Um, they
They need the games though,
Yeah, they need the
because
games though.
honestly, as a person that likes a lot of Japanese games and a lot of JRPGs,
Yeah,
they don't have a lot in that area.
no, they're definitely lacking in but I mean, hence the Bethesda purchase. They're trying to get into the RPG genre
Trying to get those
more.
exclusive.
Yeah, they're trying to get exclusive. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, it is interesting, but we'll have to see what happens with New World, because, yeah, it's just not a good look, and I don't know if players are willing to devote time to something that could be canceled so quickly.
Agreed.
All right, next up, this is something we talked about. Games. So basically, Domo Capital. They said there's an agreement where Microsoft is going to allow GameStop to have revenue sharing on all digital content from the devices that they rent out with the Xbox All Access, whatever pass, whatever it's called. Basically, essentially, you can go to a GameStop. You can. Okay, first of all, this is something I found out this week. You have to pass their credit check. And so they're doing credit checks with Citizen One, with
Credit checks for what?
to get an Xbox. They're not just going to give
Oh,
out
oh, wait.
Xboxes.
No, no, it's not. It's not just to get an Xbox. It's to be on a payment plan to get the Xbox.
I know, but what I'm saying is they're not going to give you an Xbox unless you pass their credit check. You
Yeah,
can,
but that's only to get on the payment plan. I'm just saying, in general, you're not going to get a credit check just because you want to buy an Xbox. If you can buy an Xbox straight up, you don't
y-
need to pass a credit check.
yeah, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the all access
Okay.
pass. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm only talking about the all access pass. Um, you have to pass the credit check by Citizen One, which I believe does the same credit checks. A friend posted an article. I might get this wrong. Don't crucify me. Which I believe does the same credit checks for iPhone.
Okay.
So it's not going to be like if you're a kid, you're not going to be able to walk into GameStop and just get an Xbox. You're going to have to pass like a rigorous credit check. Then they'll sign you up for the service. So, um, but once you get on that service, all the digital content that you do buy outside of the 100 games that Game Pass gives you access to, which I believe it's even more now with the EA Play. Um, it looks like GameStop is going to be getting a commission on that. So I think this is huge for GameStop. I saw a meme that had a picture of Microsoft as a nurse performing CPR on GameStop because they're basically resuscitating it. So I don't know who facilitated this deal.
It's obviously Reggie.
Maybe, but whoever facilitated this deal between GameStop and Microsoft, like, you give this person a raise. Like, I mean, you might as well even make them CEO. Um, but yeah, what do you think about this?
No, I think GameStop getting a meaningful cut out of digital sales is going to be good for them to stay relevant slash alive during this time period
Hmm.
because honestly, they've been having a tough time just sticking strictly to physical sales
Yeah,
and used sales at that.
yeah,
So, no, it definitely has given them a lifeline.
yeah, and yeah. Also, I just want to say I apologize. Josie's stream got a little bit smaller. There's a weird
Why?
technical difficulty. I don't know what it is, but he should go back to normal size soon. But you were also
I'm trapped.
what? What'd you say?
I'm trapped.
Yeah, you're trapped. It's closing in. Um, you were also saying that there might be a deal where if you return like an Xbox game and you can trade
Oh,
it in
yes.
for a digital version.
So I forget the exact name of this deal. Shoot. It's not game sharing.
No, it was like
Uh,
physical to digital,
yes.
something like that.
So what happens is that when Microsoft had physical stores and selling the Xbox One S all digital version,
Hmm.
one promotion that they had was to go ahead and trade in your physical games, so the games that you owned on disc, you
Hmm.
would trade it in at the store, and they would give you a digital code for that same game. So it's not like you'd be going ahead and be like, "Ooh, I want to trade in this copy of what's an Xbox game? Shoot, Shadow of Mordor for Halo 5 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, anything like that. You can't just trade it in for anything else. You'd have
Yes.
to get it for the same
It's
game.
equivalent. Okay.
Exactly. Equivalent exchange to just like a Full Metal Alchemist. But anyways, the rumor, it's speculated that GameStop is actually in a good position to carry on with this same type of promotion where they can go ahead and get those physical games, give out the digital code, a la whatever um, relationship they have with Microsoft, and then use that physical copy and sell it used all of the way GameStop already does. So
Yeah. It's a win-win.
it's yeah, it's a win-win-win.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
I'd be interested to see how if that were to progress.
Yeah. No, I think that would be really good for GameStop if they could work out a deal like that with Microsoft.
Exactly.
Um, all right, next up, Nintendo Switch sets a new record as the best-selling console in the United States for 22 consecutive months.
Wow.
So, is this surprising to you? Because it's not to me.
No, no. I
Yeah.
mean, it's got a great price point. It's versatile, has fantastic games. Uh, and there's a lot of children in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a lot of children, and the Switch is probably the best console for them.
Yes, yes, it is. Especially the Switch Lite,
Yeah. Um,
which
so
is cheaper still.
it is. It is. And like, dude, did you get the uh Mario All Stars?
Yes, I did.
Dude, it's great, right?
I have yet to even put it in. I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
even. I got the credits for it. I just haven't even turned it on.
Okay. I
So
I played I actually put some I covered it in a couple weeks ago. I put some gameplay footage. So I played Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Galaxy. I haven't
yes,
played Sunshine. I heard a lot of people say it's wonky, but that's just because the original was wonky too. But they did
yeah,
make updates to it. They updated the HUDs in all of them. But
nice.
yeah, I just think that like Nintendo in general, and also you're gonna get the new Hyrule Warriors game coming out soon. They're just uh, they're just doing things the right way, and you can get a Switch, and that could be your only console, especially if you're a kid. I mean, you're not gonna. Parents usually don't buy multiple consoles for their kid. They give them one,
Yeah,
and they say this is your console. So, and also I don't
do your
know.
homework.
I what?
I was just like, do your homework.
Yeah.
Like, earn it.
Um, if you've follow like the Nintendo reveals on YouTube and stuff like that, you notice that they bring over all the good indie games to the Switch. Developers do, and it's I think it's one of those systems where like I could probably not get by on a Switch only because I'm like a hardcore PC gamer.
Yes.
But I feel like if I was a kid, you know, transported to 2020 and there was such thing as a Switch, I mean, come on, man, that would be amazing. The consoles
Dark
that,
Souls Remastered is on Switch.
yeah, yeah, man,
Witcher 3.
yeah, and like I don't know about you, but I usually buy a lot of the limited run Switch games.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I think they're just doing the right. Nintendo's doing the right thing, and they're reaping the rewards for it. I mean, it's a great console. You can play it on the go. You can play it on your TV. It,
Yeah, it's
it
fantastic for Japanese games too, because we were just talking about it with Xbox, especially with like JRPGs
yeah,
and visual novels.
yeah,
Like those games don't demand a lot of system resources, and so they're fully capable on the Switch.
yes. And I do want to say because a friend of mine challenged me on this. I said something like something flippant like, yeah, but it's 980p or whatever. And then my friend was like, no, 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 it allows 1080. And so I did some
It, it,
research.
it allows 1080 docked, not handheld.
Yes, it allows 1080 docked. But I did some research, and there are games. There's a bunch of games you can play at 1080p while it's docked.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Um, and it's just harder. It's harder for the developers to reach that 1080p threshold at a good frame rate on the
Yes.
Switch. Yeah, they have to allocate their resources more, but it is possible.
Not just that, but it's hard in general because you're kind of creating two different versions of a game
Hmm.
when it's both docked and when it's handheld.
Yeah.
Uh, Good example is literally Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I love that game. That game is phenomenal, but it looks like butt when it's on handheld.
Yeah.
Like you do not want to play that game handheld.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You can. I mean, you can play Witcher 3 handheld,
Yes, you can.
but it doesn't mean that it's the optimal way of playing it.
Yeah.
And so,
Exactly. It's kind of
and so like,
like when you develop a website, you develop it for desktop and then you develop a
For
version for
mobile.
mobile. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So next up, we have an article from Kotaku where it talks about the Xbox, the big guy, Phil Spencer. He talks about the Series X, Halo Infinite, and Bethesda. And a lot of people, including you and me, have been wondering, is the next Elder Scrolls going to be exclusive to the, you know, Xbox, Microsoft ecosystem, right? A lot of people are
Yeah.
wondering that. So here I'm going to read this and then we'll discuss after that. So this is someone asking to Phil Spencer. Is it possible to recoup a 7.5 billion investment if you don't sell Elder Scrolls 6 on the PlayStation? He responded, yes. And then it says, then he paused. I don't want to be flip about that, he added. The deal was not done to take games away from another player base like that. Nowhere in the documentation that was that we put together was, how do we keep other players from playing these games? We want more people to be able to play games, not fewer people to be able to play games. But I'll also say in the model, I'm just answering directly to the question that you had. When I think about where people are going to be playing and the number of devices that we had, and we have xCloud and PC and Game Pass in our other console base, I don't have to go ship those games on any other platform other than the platforms that we support in order to kind of make the deal work for us, whatever that means. So it means yes, it's going to be exclusive. It's going to be exclusive. Um, so I mean, what do you think about what he said? Do you think he's just trying to be obfuscate saying yes?
No, no. I think he was pretty direct.
Okay.
Uh, it makes complete sense, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, that's why. Why do you think this was such a big deal?
Yeah, they're not going to
It was
pay
such a
for
big
that.
deal
Yeah,
because, huh?
they're not going to pay that
What'd
much
you say?
money and not get a return off of it.
Exactly, exactly. And honestly, um, I actually my first game for the Xbox 360. Xbox 360 was the first console that I bought specifically just to play Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion.
Okay.
I bought that game and I bought that console because my PC at the time couldn't play it, and I had just finished getting like a Dell XPS at the time,
Yeah.
and it wasn't strong enough to play Elder Scrolls 4. And I was like, "What the hell? I'm not gonna get another PC." So I got an Xbox 360, and Oblivion's literally one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
So I mean, I already associate Xbox and Elder Scrolls kind of together, especially since Morrowind was on the original Xbox.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I definitely understand that it probably should be a system exclusive and it'll come to Game Pass. And if PlayStation ever has a Game Pass option on their consoles, that's the only way that you'll probably be able to play it on a PlayStation console.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it should remain an exclusive. This is their selling. This is one of their unique selling points. I mean, PlayStation 5 has their unique selling points. They have Demon Souls. They have Spider-Man. God of War, Last of
Ghost of
Us,
Tsushima,
Ghost of
Final
Tsushima.
Fantasy VII remake. They
Exactly.
have a lot.
Now, some of those games will be coming to PC,
Hmm.
but you won't be able to play it on an Xbox console.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So,
Yeah. You're right.
so yeah, we discussed this last time when we talked about the Xbox showcase that Xbox wasn't showcasing a lot of exclusives,
Yes.
but they're gaining them now.
Yeah. So I want to say to the people who, okay, this is the main group of people that I would feel kind of like slighted by are the PC gamers that have been playing Elder Scrolls since, you know, a long time ago. Because you had Oblivion on your Xbox 360. I actually built a gaming PC for Oblivion, right?
Yes.
And it was amazing at the time. It was so awesome, and I would just get lost for hours and hours into the game. And
Hell yes.
Now, for people like that prefer it on PC, they won't like where they would have to get Game Pass for PC to get the game because people want to own a game, right? You don't own the game if it's on Game Pass, right? If it's one of the,
Yes and no though,
you have to
because
own Game
honestly,
Pass.
do PC players really own the games that they have on Steam? We've talked about Steam delisting games in the past.
That is true. That is true. You don't own it 100% outright. That is true.
And even then, there's still the ability to change already purchased games to versions that you don't want to play. A good example, Rockstar Grand Theft Auto 4, when they lost all the rights to their music.
Hmm.
So the only way to really own a game
Is to
is to
buy a
have the physical
physical
version,
copy.
and play it offline.
Yeah. So
But then again, that removes patches. So
it does. You know what? I was thinking about this last night. I was thinking, why do I keep patching my games after I buy them to play them? Like, I've never just got a game and was like, cancel patch, play the game. I was like, why am I always wasting hours and hours downloading the patch, right? It's a
because
complete.
patches are meant to optimize the game.
I know, but is it worth me spending that time every single time I buy a game? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just had that thought in my head.
but it does though, because the thing is that they usually fix bugs and game breaking bugs at that.
I know, but we're not going to be able to do that every time we play these games in the future. We're going to be playing the bugged version.
That's one of the biggest problems
Yeah,
that we have today. Looking at what's it called? Oh, there's a term for it. Shoot, preservation.
yeah,
Preservation of games. Like literally, we talked about this offline not too long ago. But like I was playing like Tales of Fantasia or something on my Super Nintendo, or playing just a couple of games on my PlayStation, and it's literally just put the game in the console and play it. That's it. For all these newer systems, especially from like the PS3 or even the PS Vita. Here's a good example. The PS Vita is being phased out.
yeah,
PlayStation 3, PS Vita, PlayStation Portable. What about the patches for those games?
yeah,
I don't know about the PlayStation Portable, but PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita definitely, because right now Sony, I don't think you have it on, as an article, but Sony is phasing out purchasing any kind of games or add-ons via their web store, the
yeah,
Sony
yeah.
PlayStation store.
I was going to cover that last week, but I didn't do it, or another
So
week
in,
before.
in, in that regard, that is literally deleting history
Yeah, no,
from
they're
from
going to
from,
have
from,
it.
from an official method
Yes,
of acquiring these items,
yes,
these digital only items.
yeah,
And it really is gonna lay on the hands of or the shoulders of users,
yes,
and most likely pirate type users, in order to make these patches available somehow,
yeah,
some way, maybe downloading them, putting them, and then putting them that way.
yeah.
But
Now,
as far as like from first party is concerned, there are large issues with preservation that people just aren't commenting on, or that conversation isn't being had.
yeah,
And it's a little frustrating from a collector's point of view, where like, what if 10 years, I'm just going to say 10 years from now, 10
mhm,
years from now, I want to play a game on PlayStation 3. How am I going to play it if it has like a game breaking bug and there's no patch that I can download because it's not available?
yeah, yeah. No, I think you're right, but I do want to let you know there is a way to patch. There is a way to a way. I'm not going to say, but there is a way
Wait,
to patch games on the Xbox 360 right now. So you could essentially load your game and then download a patch through, and it'll patch the game. And there's also ways to patch older games using IPS patching. But yeah, it's not easy, and it puts the
but here's the
burden.
thing,
It
and
puts the burden on the
that's where
gamer.
Xbox, I think, is really doing well by users
Hmm.
and games in general, is that the Xbox Series X is practically fully backwards compatible.
Yeah.
And so that really helps in the preservation of games, and they want to retain those games for purchase even digitally.
Yes.
So So you can go ahead and take your disc. I can take my Xbox original disc. Unfortunately, not of Otogi because Otogi isn't backwards compatible yet. But let's say something like Crimson Skies.
Yeah.
I can put Crimson Skies in there and play it
Yeah. Now I
just
do.
like just like I would on the original Xbox. But it's
Yes.
going to run even better because the Xbox Series X optimizes it through its hardware.
Yes. Yeah, it does have it has a bunch of games. It has a whole they have a whole team dedicated to backwards compatibility,
And
which
that's what makes the Xbox Series X, at the very least for me, like a console that I'd like to purchase
yes. Yeah. No, I
because of its backwards compatibility and the power it has for third-party games.
yeah. No, I'm with you there. They're like we said, they're the only game in town when it comes to full backwards compatibility. Sony, the, they couldn't even
Drop the
bother.
ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't even want to. Yeah, 99 point whatever percent of the PS4 games are backwards compatible, but look, we know they can do backwards compatibility because we've seen it. I on this show we discussed how they packaged
Medieval.
Medieval with an emulator on the disc and it ran on the PlayStation. So they know how to do it. They can do it. They just
But
don't.
something about Sony and past games, like who dropped the ball on the PlayStation Mini?
I don't
Like I
know,
want
man.
to see I want to see a head roll there. That was easy money. They could have really gotten a slam dunk there. They didn't care.
And it was up to the modders to turn it into an actual good system, which it is now. I mean, if you mod it, it's good now. You could play a lot
Yeah,
of
but to the
PlayStation
end
games.
user that doesn't want to do that, that
Yeah,
just wants to play it straight out of the box,
yeah, it's
it's
annoying.
it's a piss poor console.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Um, which leads me to say, like, you know, let me circle back to the topic. Um, yeah, so I agree with you. My only sentiment was that like PC gamers tend to want to be able to purchase a PC game the way they want to. Meaning, if they keep their collection on Steam, they want to buy it through Steam. If
Got
they,
it.
yeah, so that's all I'm saying. Like, I get it. They're probably not going to release the new Elder Scrolls for PlayStation, right? But at least give PC gamers the option of buying the game where they want. So that was my
But
only
but
concern.
even then, that's not a huge it's not a huge barrier for entry. Like literally, you need to purchase an entirely different console if you didn't have an Xbox Series X,
Yes,
or if
but
you don't have a PC, in order to play
yeah,
Elder Scrolls 6.
I know.
But for PC players, it's buying into Game Pass for whatever amount of time. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, that's not that huge as completely losing out of a game because you don't have the console
Yes,
for PlayStation 5 owners.
but I want everyone here to know Sony does this more than Xbox.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
So so please don't. If you're like like a diehard Sony fan, you can't complain because they do this for everything. And let me be clear, I wanted a reason to buy Xbox because I prefer their ecosystem and I prefer their UI and all that stuff, right? You know me, I preferred the 360 over the PS3. I was a
same
big,
here,
yeah. I had the original Xbox. I played that a shit ton, right?
same
Um,
here.
I want to be an Xbox fan, but there's, dude, like I have to play the next version of Final Fantasy Remake. Like,
Demon
I
Souls.
yeah, and Demon Souls. I have like it. I feel like I'm a victim too. Like, like like I had to buy a PlayStation because I need to play those two games, and it's like I would I have considered buying Xbox if I could have played Final Fantasy and Demon Souls on it. Yeah, you bet your ass I would have, but I can't. And
Well, Final
so
Fantasy VII is still coming to the Xbox.
no, because I looked it up and there's zero evidence that it's coming to the Xbox. In fact, I did a deep dive and there's no word that it's coming to the Xbox at all. Zero. No one has even said it's coming to the Xbox. So
Are you completely
I'm
certain?
sure because someone I was chatting with someone about Game Pass and they were like, "Yeah, it'll eventually be on Game Pass." I was like, "No, it won't." And they were like, "Yeah, but it's going
No.
to be there later." I was like,
No.
"It was never announced for Xbox. You can look it up. There's no announcement that Final Fantasy Remastered is coming to Xbox."
Interesting. I thought it was just like a 1 year exclusive. I mean,
That's
it did come out in May.
that's for PC. That's for PC. There is zero mention that the game is ever coming to Xbox.
Because I mean, they recently, historically speaking, and I'm not saying
Yeah,
that you're completely wrong.
yeah.
It's just it's kind of hard to believe, historically speaking. Final Fantasy 15 came out to Xbox.
Hmm.
Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2, the remastered. Final Fantasy 12.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
but now granted, Final Fantasy 14 has not come to Xbox, and that's really against what Phil Spencer's saying. Like, we want people to play games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, Final Fantasy 14 should be on Xbox.
Yes. Yeah.
But um, but
S-
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And Kingdom Hearts just recently all came to Xbox.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I
It
thought I,
did.
I thought Xbox was starting to, or Square Enix and Xbox were starting to kind of have a working
Yeah.
relationship. But
Yeah. And
okay,
and let me be clear to all, and this goes for you and me because I know how you feel too. Let me be clear to everyone watching. Me and Josie are not uh like advocates of one console or of another. You have multiple systems. I have multiple systems. I play on PC, I play on PlayStation, I play Switch. We like it when the games are available in many places because the gamer can choose, you know what I mean? There's no
yes,
hardware. So, yeah, we're what we're doing is we're playing devil's advocate when we have these conversations where we're discussing these things like why companies would do this. But when it comes to us, we actually prefer that the game is available in as many places. So yeah, don't get it twisted. We like games being spread out over the gaming. Yeah, you're getting trapped, dude. You're getting trapped. I actually my thing locked up, so I don't know if yeah, if it locks up, everyone, I'm sorry. There's definitely something fishy going on, but anyways, let's move on to the next topic. We talked enough about that. Um,
I can do another 30 minutes.
I know we could. All right, next up. So Sega is having its 60th anniversary deals on Steam. And I kind of wanted to highlight this because there's a lot of cool stuff. And I think, if you're a Sega fan, you want to know about these things. So, first of all, they're releasing free games. I believe they're doing one a week. Or maybe if it's even like every couple of days. But I got Nights into Dreams for the Sega Saturn. I got that for free. They're going to be releasing these games for free here. Um, Now, you have to get it at the right day, I believe. I think they release them on certain days. So if you click it now, you probably won't be able to get it. Like, I think this one is one of the last games that they're releasing for free.
Nice.
You can go
Mine
on their
too. One of my
website.
faves.
Yeah, it's an amazing game. And then
Bayonetta.
they're having sales. They're having crazy sales. Look at this. Bayonetta 4.99. Sonic Mania 4.90. I highly recommend this game if you're a Sonic fan.
Yes,
This is
it's
so
beautiful.
good. It is
Yes,
beautiful. You
Persona
recommend
4
this one?
Golden.
Yeah, you recommend this one.
Yes, a highly fantastic JRPG.
Yeah.
Great characters, great story. Oh,
Um,
Catherine Classic.
yeah, Catherine, I actually have the physical version of this game. It's a very interesting game.
Well, they just released a remastered, and I honestly would suggest the remaster. But if you really want to play the classic, go ahead.
Yeah. Um, so Football Manager, this is a game I have some friends who are like huge into this. I actually got Football Manager 2020 for free in an Epic, Epic gives away games every once in a while.
Yes.
Um, but it's kind of like a, and it's funny. is pro recruiters actually use this game to recruit soccer players from other countries.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like it's literally the most detailed like team manager for
You
soccer.
mean football players?
Yeah, football, football. Now this is interesting. This is going to be free to play. Golden Axe. This is a canceled prototype of Golden Axe, and they're releasing this on October 18th. And I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to like you're going to be able to download it and you own it forever. But it is up for a limited time, so I don't know if they're going to let you download it, play it for a week, and then remove it. But who knows? I mean, they're giving it away for free, so I'm going to try it. And everyone remembers Golden Axe from the Sega days. And there's actually a Golden Axe fighting game on the was it the Dreamcast or the Saturn?
Ooh, I don't recall.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, they're doing all.
But that was cool. Like honestly, like I kind of actually would like to see the rest of that game.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It looks interesting. It looks like a more um, Diablo-esque type beat 'em up version of the game.
Well, not the it's not it's 2D or yeah.
Yeah, I meant more of like the way the graphics look.
Oh, okay, because I was like, it's not
Yeah.
isometric view,
No, 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 no.
so it's like side scrolling,
Yeah.
and I dig that.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. So I'm gonna play this on the 18th. Um, close this. Okay, there's one you said binary domain is worth checking
Binary
out.
Domain's amazing. I
Okay.
love that game. It's made by the the same studio behind the Yakuza games, which were on sale up on the top of the page. The Yakuza games are amazing. They are story focused action RPG practically, but like open world where they're like Japan simulators. They're really good. They're like the
Yes.
next step from Shenmue practically.
Yeah.
A lot of
No.
people like to say GTA, but it's not like GTA.
Yeah. No. They branched off after Shenmue kind of died.
Yes, exactly. So, Binary Domain is a third-person action game, mostly a shooter, and it's just a lot of fun. It's really good. So I highly suggest it. For 299, it's a
Two.
steal.
Yes. 299. Come on, you can't beat that. And I like I said, I was talking to you. I have a good friend who just bought Shenmue 1 and 2 for
Yeah.
749, and these games are classics.
Oh, and Vanquish. Vanquish is Gears of War on steroids. Steroids crack everything. Like it's amazing. I highly suggest it. It is so good. We recently just bought the collector's edition of Bayonetta and Vanquish.
Oh, okay.
The
Um,
physical. You bought it too, didn't you?
yeah, yeah. I bought the one for
PS4.
PS4. Yeah, PS4.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
if you don't have a Steam account but you have a PC, you can make a Steam account for free. I would highly suggest you go in there and at least get the free games that they're giving away.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Some
that's
great
it.
sales.
Yeah, it is pretty cool, man. And also, I bought that little. I showed you the little Game Gear Mini or Micro Game
Yes.
Gear Micro. It's hard to play on, but it's a fun little thing to have. All right,
It's a collector's item.
it is a collector's item, and it's one of those things where it's like it's Japan only, and it sucks when they do that because there's a lot of stuff they
Yeah.
come out where they just keep it Japan only, and then people like you and me are like scrambling to find a way to get it, or if we should even get it, you know.
You need that magnifier though.
I know, man. I played like through like 3 levels of Sonic and Tails, and then afterwards I put it down and I looked up and I immediately got vertigo. I was like, "Whoa, why is everything so big?"
Yeah, I was watching a review, and someone was like, there's one copy because there's four different versions. There's one version with the Shining Force trilogy on
Mhm.
there, the Game Gear trilogy, and they're like, it's impossible to play. There's so much text, but you can't read it because it's so small.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I got the one with Sonic and Tails and Gunstar because I was like,
Yeah,
I could at
it's a
least,
solid choice.
yeah. All right. Last up, this is our rumor for the week. People got mad at me for last week's rumor,
Why?
uh, the Elden Ring one, because they were like, "This is BS," blah blah blah. You know, I get it. It's not real, but I'm just relaying these rumors to you. I'm just letting you all know what I see.
I mean, just stop spreading false information, though.
Hey, before every rumor video, what do I say? This is a
That
rumor.
might not be true.
Yeah, this might not be true. So, but you can still get mad at me if you want. So Mass Effect Legendary Edition was rated in Korea. So we've covered what this means before. Basically, you know how we have the like ESRB ratings here. They
Mm-hmm.
have their own ratings, and they usually only rate a game before it comes out, or they know that it's going to come out. So obviously this is in Korean, so we can't read it, but we can read the title here: Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
You read that in Korean?
Um, yeah, I read the Korean part. I didn't read the English part. So yeah, now this date is confusing because this says September.
September 1st,
Yeah, so I don't know.
and then September
Now
17th.
I did see this earlier and I never covered it. But yeah, I mean, what do you think? Do you think this is something you would like to see happen?
Uh, yes and no. Yeah.
I know you're a
I mean,
Mass
Mass
Effect
Effect and me
fan.
have a sordid history. Huh?
I know you've played the Mass Effect games. That's why I'm
Oh
asking you.
yeah, I played them
Yeah.
all except for Andromeda. But the thing is that Mass Effect 3 left such a sour taste in my mouth. You know, like I really dislike that game. Um, they just really threw
That was the
away
one
every all the goodwill they built with Mass Effect 1 and
that
2.
that was the one that had all the like weird, horrible like animations, right, or something like that, facial animations.
That's
Oh, that's
Andromeda.
Andromeda. Yeah, yeah,
So but no, like I would love to replay Mass Effect 1 and 2 again, but the story is unfinished. But even then,
yeah.
um preservation, just like we were talking
Yes.
about earlier. It's great that these games are being re-released, and usually when something's rated, that means it's pretty close to being
Okay.
released. So that's good
Yeah.
news. How about yourself?
Yeah. So I never jumped aboard the Mass Effect wagon back in the day, so I haven't played them. So I think if this did come out, this would give me an excuse to finally play them. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, everyone, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and leave a comment below. I put out a video with everything, which is kind of like in a podcast format, and then I put out individual clips, so you can, however you want to consume this. um, but yeah, I'm glad Josie's back. Welcome back, and
Hey, nice. Thank you for having
yeah,
me.
and hopefully you can be on more episodes. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah, take care and have a good one.
Keep on gaming. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this episode of Games I Speak. If you liked the episode, please subscribe and leave a comment below, and we'll see you all next time.